Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. It's Annelies Journaling, and for those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you will find my work so interesting that you want to see more. So we are working on a journal that at the moment looks like this. I did this cover in an earlier recording, so you can find that if you look in my playlist. So this is a 3 signature journal that we are filling up at the moment. We have been working on some mini journals side by side with this, but now it's time to move over to the big one. So you haven't seen everything. I have done some work out in my caravan in the forest with bad Wi-Fi, so I haven't recorded that much. So I will show you a little bit. This is one of my punching textiles where I have punched a loop implant between a couple of sheets of textile and got the pattern of it, and then I have filled it in with my fine liner, decorating it with a few stitching of paper with monograms and some wishing paper with the small pieces that are sewn together. Then I made a watercolor painting of a dragonfly, just a little sketch on a book page, and I realized that if I paint it I could use it. So that's also a little pocket or a top spot. And these are textiles that I have painted on with watercolor. And all of these pieces are originals, so I don't use copies mostly. I try to use my originals so you can kind of feel the texture of the paintings in the book. And behind the dragonfly we have a big pocket, so you can put some things in that too. And more watercolor painting on some old ledger, and another of my painted textile pockets, and some embroidery on that too. So then I did a collaged page. So this is paper and it's textile and embroidery in different ways, and also a piece of embossed paper that I have done with modeling paste and stencil. So you have this possibility to touch it, and then it's a big pocket behind this one. And another big pocket from this side, and this is a print of a leaf that I took in the part of the forest where we had our trailer now the last week. So I have also written where it is picked and which year. So it's a bit of Swedish text. So some laces, of course, some colored cheesecloth, some of my scribbling writing. Then I have a little page, and this is also the same. I have painted and used some old letters from Sweden, and then we have a little, not there we have a top spot from that side on that one. And the back, another of my paintings, and I have written a bit on it. Put a little antique piece of lace and a label. And this is a side pocket. A printable with some trees, some birch trees. And then I have one of my watercolor paintings that I have done a cluster from. And this is kind of a little belly band, so you can put something in it. It will probably be something more on that page, so but I left it like this for now, so we will see. So then I have a printable on this side, and I have a watercolor painting on this side, a big pocket, and a book page that I have altered with watercolor and some textiles. And this is, most of these pages aren't done yet, so this is how I work. I put in first the base, and then I put in some pockets, and then I often in the end go back and put in maybe some labels or some small textile pieces, kind of that little extra touch. So it's in progress. So another pocket, and this is eco dyed paper and some embroidery on it. Then I put a little hole, and this is a piece of textile that I have painted and hammered on, that is behind, and it's sewn onto with embroidery. We have a little flip, and this is one of the papers that I spoke about yesterday. I can show you a few more. I did this eco printing on craft paper using blueberries and some rose petals and some other plants to get pattern. And I really love how this turned out. This blueberries that almost is purple. This paper is so strong as it's craft paper and packaging paper, so I can really use some sticks and plants that are a bit more bulky, and it will hold on anyway. So we've got all these textures on it to touch, and here you can really feel the stems of the plant when you touch it, and I really love that. So I will do more of these, and actually do maybe a couple of journals that are maybe clean, so someone maybe want to have this paper in a whole journal and do the decoration themselves. And I thought I could use maybe some old covers and make some, shouldn't that be beautiful with these old books and then these papers in them. I think that could be really nice touch. So these are some really nice papers that I love. And then I just put in a few papers with white 120 grams paper to keep them down, so you can really see the blueberries has gone through. I also put in some coffee, so they have kind of a brownish tone, and you can see the blueberries peeking out. And this was the one that was on top. So this is a print of a metal piece that I have on top of everything to keep it down in the water. So let's have a bit of text. It's an advertising piece for coffee. So it's a text about coffee here. And it's a copper plate, so it's perfect to use in the dye. This was the one that was in the bottom of the pan, so it's a bit darker and a bit burned. I have 2 ferns in the bottom of that pan. So that's one of those papers that I did earlier, and now I have done some more. And then we have, of course, a... Did my card go? Did I put it somewhere? Be under my papers there. So you have a pocket behind these 2, and then you can flip this up. And I also did a little tab on this to hold and flip it up. This is also one of the textiles that I did with punching. So another paper that I haven't decorated yet, and then I did this blueberry pocket, and I did just color this with watercolor and embroidered blue. So these are not from real blueberries, it's just watercolor paint. And this is kind of the same that was on the same flower that was on the front of the little journal. See if I can get it for you. This one that will be on the giveaway. And this is kind of the same plant, but it was a bit different in shape. So I used my fine liner to define that a little bit more. So I'm not sure, these will be probably more decorated. Another page from the antique botanical book. And then we have a lot of pages to fill in. I have used some of the pink ones, done a pink pocket and put textile and paper on that. This is also my watercolor paintings, you can see. And I think that was all I have done. No, that one. I painted a rose and did a big pocket there too. But then I think it's all I have managed to do. So I thought we could do a couple of pages today. And I think I have a few pages that are white still, kind of like this. And I'm going to do kind of a whole page so we can put that in on top of the white pages. There we go, another one. So let's put this aside and take some papers to play with. That one can go. And I thought we could use some real plants today and put them down and do something beautiful with it. See if we can be a bit creative. So let's see, put that away. And I think I want to use one of these big ones so that we can cover a whole page. Let's check the page. So that will work. It's a little bit big on both ends, so we can cut a little bit off. 1 centimeter in wide and 1.5 in length. So then let's just do like this. No measurements, go on what we saw. And these are also printed on 100 and I think this is 110 grams copy paper, so it's nothing fancy. And we have some lilacs and leaves from that on this one, and some other small leaves. I'm not sure what I used on that one, but let's use this page and maybe some paper with embossing on. I don't want to cover everything up, it's so beautiful, so should we maybe leave that page? But then I can't glue it down. No, let's use it, we can make more of them. So a piece of embossed paper and then some flower on top of that. I think that can work. Then I think we want to have some textile or cheesecloth on the back of this to kind of keep it in place. This is just a front of an old antique book, so I have just embossed that and used it. And I'm just putting this on mostly to give it some more strength. This is more like a textile, so it stays in place. And it will also peek out a little bit and be decorative. Don't want to glue too much, because if you glue too much on the embossed paper, it can get flat again. So I'm trying to not use too much glue. Try to not put it double. And then I just want it to just peek out a little bit so we can see it, but not cover up the beautiful page. So I'm just moving it to the middle. And pressing it down. So we still have this textile peeking out. Like that. This way, I think. Yes. Then we need to pick some flowers. This is some kind of moss, I think, and I like that shape. But then we have also these ones are really cute. I need to take my tweezer. was a little bit pale on that. So let's use this one. I think we'll decide that it goes that way. So let's see if we can glue this down. And I'm using my bookbinding glue, and that means that the glue is a little bit, it dries a bit like rubber. So don't use a glue that dries and get totally stiff. That will make your flower kind of risking to break. I'm breaking that so I can move it. It was a bit on the wrong side, I think. I'm going to take that up a little bit so it won't get stuck in that threads. And this glue will dry completely transparent and matte, so you won't see that it is here when it has dried. Maybe need the greenery on this side, but a bit further down. Putting glue on every leaf, so I'm sure that it won't move around. And then I'm trying to put it down so we can still see the flower properly. Like that. Moving it to the other side. I have an irritating fly around me. That kind that wants to be in your face. Okay. Let's leave that to dry a little bit and make another one of these that will go on top of something else. So this will be cute, I think. So leave that to dry. So let's take another one. Let's take a book page. These are also eco-dyed. I have put them with my other white papers and plants and got some color on them. This was folded, so maybe we can put something behind that folding. Let's glue that together first. You can see the glue line now, but when it dries you can't see them anymore. So don't get upset. It will disappear. So what should we use on this one? I have this one too that is also folded. We could do the same thing. I'm thinking maybe this blue one could be nice. Oh yes, on that one. I decide that right away. Which side should we use? This one, I think. Then we need some glue down here. To put those down. Oh, I like that. Really cute. Oops. That will kind of disappear. Be a piece of this one. Could go here. Take that back up a little bit. Beautiful. And then we can maybe put that like this instead, and I have a patterned background with some layers on. No, I like the other one like that, so it really stands out a little bit. Okay, let's glue this down. I think I will sew it on my sewing machine later, but we can glue it first so it stays in place when I'm sewing it. Let's do one more. Oh, we have these ones I have forgot about. I picked these when we was on one of our car trips. When we was in by the big lake, we took a rainy day. We took a trip with the car. These are really, really cute. Should we have that in the middle? No, that looked funny. Kind of like that, and then maybe the leaves down here picking up. Let's try that. I will put a little bit of glue on top of these later to make sure they stay in place, but I want them to dry properly first. And these ones are also they are kind of hairy, so I want to make sure that they won't lose their hair. I have glue on my fingers, so I don't want to put them there. Pretty sure that I will get stuck then. These hairy things. Scary hairy. Try to put some glue in between the these are growing on the wetlands, so I'm happy when I can find them and still walk and pick them, because it's often very wet and you can't reach them. It's almost like they are growing in the water. So these will really need some more glue later on. And then the leaves. I have hair all over my glue. Need to be a bit careful here. They are so fragile when they have dried. Then they get a bit heavy with the glue on. this a little bit further down so we don't cover that all up. Now we can glue it down. Okay. I need maybe something that are more white and a bit more something like that. Give the embossing a bit color, so maybe you can see it a bit more. That can be fun. A bit of layering. Okay, I will leave those to dry, and then I'm going to sew with my sewing machine down here, and then I will be back so that we can continue. I have sewn the pages, and you can see I have sewn around this, and then I left it on top of this so we can use that as a pocket. Now when we have the textile behind it, it's a bit more sturdy. But we can also use the big paper to make a bigger pocket. But some more decoration on them. So let's start with this one. And see if we can put something more on it, so it's a bit more fun. I have just taken a few things. This is a watercolor painted flower that I just picked out. A little saying, "My soul is a garden," and a little label. I think we need to have so I'm not sure about this brown flower. Let's wait a bit with that one. I don't want to cover that piece down, so I think I will put this on the side, and then the small one on the top. Distressing it a little bit. So I want to take the opportunity to thank you all for your support and your comments. I'm really happy for all of your words. You are almost so many now, so if it takes a day or two before I answer or give you my thumbs up, it's because I have so much response on my on my YouTube and Instagram that I almost don't have time to answer all of them, but I'm try at least to answer all the questions and at least give you some sign that I have seen your answers or your responding. I do look at everyone, so thank you so much for being so supportive. No, I don't think that I want that. Trying some stuff I have laying around. Maybe we should have something more in that corner. But I'm not sure. Maybe just a number. Discreet and brown. Then this piece of textile was laying around perfectly, waiting for that label. There we go. So when I have done this, I will put some more glue on all the flowers, but I thought I could do that the last thing I do, so that you don't need to wait for the result. It needs a bit more protection, but that's just a layer of glue or decoupage glue on top of it, so it's nothing you actually need to learn or see. Okay, the next one. I realized this was a little boring with the white, so I put a piece of textile so we can use all of it as a pocket, and then I put a piece of lace down here that I sewed in, and then I just have sewn around this, so it got a little bit more. It was so empty. I had have this watercolor piece. It's actually a flower, but it looks like a butterfly. So we might use that when we put it on the page, I think. So a number in the blue tones. Then I have this piece of book page that was in another color. Thought that you could just break the colors a bit, or keep the white light colors together maybe. I just felt that it was needed for some white down here too. The sample stamp Paris Lily. It's these small details that are so important. And break it down with a brownish old looking label. And the same with this one. I will put some glue on to the flowers when we have made this, so they will stay in place. And that one will probably go on the page when we put it there. So the last and least one, really cute. This one is my favorite, I think. I'm just cutting the corners as always. I can't stand sharp corners most of the time. And a bit of distress. And this is mostly to take away the white color so it don't shine as much. When I don't want white, I don't want white to be seen. I think I actually put it on top of the brown paper to kind of balance the blue. And then we can put the botanical specimen label. So I think we will stop there today. We can put these in when they are dry and I have glued everything down properly so we don't break the flowers. So I hope you find this helpful and gave you some ideas to use up your dried flowers, or maybe go out and pick some flowers to dry. They are always fun to have, and I love to use them in the winter when I can't get any flowers. We can't live without flowers. That's important. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon again. Bye bye from Sweden.